Uh, so actually first we'll see about the Entra ID, Microsoft Entra ID. This is the Microsoft Entra ID, also known as Azure Active Directory. Earlier the name was Azure Active Directory. Now the name is Microsoft Entra ID. When we go to Microsoft Entra ID, that is also known as the default directory. That is also known as the default directory. So if I see for any organization, there will be a default directory. Suppose this is the XYZ organization. So there will be a XYZ directory. So we have this XYZ directory. So the name will be given to the directory according to the DNS name, what the organization will have. Accordingly, the name will be given to the directory. And this will be your root. This will be your root directory. Root directory. Whatever other directories you will be creating, other B2C directories, B2C means business to customer, other B2C directories you will be creating, those will all come under this directory only, root directory, and all will be synced with this root directory. Any number of B2C directories you can create here. Any number of B2C directories you can create according to your business needs. These will be your B2C, B2C. This is also B2C. B2C means Active Directory B2C, ADB2C. B2C. So if you go through the recording, we have already understood about what is B2C and all. ADB2C, that means Active Directory business to customer. For the applications which are directly faced to the customers you are creating, for those purpose we create B2C, Active Directory B2C. And those customers, those guest users will be maintained over here. And here you will be maintaining your member users. Member users. Sometimes you will be maintaining guest users as well. So suppose this is your XYZ directory. So it will be your root directory for you. Suppose now here I came. This is my default directory. Now I don't have any DNS name with me. I do not have any DNS name. So the name is the default directory only. Okay. Tenant number given, primary domain. Now as of now, I did not purchase any domain. So the domain given to me by Microsoft is this one. So my email name, and according to that, that is my domain name, .onmicrosoft.com. Now there will be, as you see, there are licenses for the subscription, different types of licenses, you know. For directory as well, you have a license. So if you see the licensing here, if I talk about licensing. So first is a free license. Then there is a P1 license, P1, and then there is a P2 license. So there is a difference between free license. Most of the tasks which you not do in free licensing means managing. When it comes to managing what? Managing users, managing groups, managing cloud applications, cloud applications. So when it comes to managing, definitely P1 and P2 has lot more privileges over a free licensing. P1 and P2. has lot more privileges over free licensing. So we cannot rely on free licensing. Actually, free licensing is just for like we need to practice or we need to check what are the things present in the Active Directory, what we can take care. Okay, all those things over free license. So generally P1 and P2 comes with a cost here. Mostly, I think something around more than 7,000 rupees, 7,300 or 7,500 something. So it will come under cost of 7,000 plus rupees, 7,000 plus. In USD, you can convert if you will create an account in, you will choose US, then it will display in the USD as well. Okay, so some 7,000 plus rupees plus taxes and all those things. You will get some invoice over here. And when you purchase this license, so for P1 and P2, P1 and P2, there can be there can be 100 users. 100 users. This license is for 100 users. Suppose your organization is doing some recruitment. So they can have for admin part. Admin means who will administrator your directory. So what are those roles generally who uh, take care of the directory and all? So generally we have system administrators. This is system administrators. Then you have cloud administrators, cloud admin. Then you have IT administrators. These are some posts. You have IT administrators. Then you might have lab administrators. Lab administrators. These are some posts which you will find while working on this. Then maybe Azure administrators. If we are in Azure, then Azure administrator, something like this. These posts will be there. And these guys will be having this P1 and P2 licenses. So suppose you have in your company, you have 100 users, you can, with this licensing, you can accommodate 100 users within this P1 and P2 license, all having the P1 and P2. If it exceeds above that, then you need to go with the other licensing as well. Like, okay. So this is the licensing fees and all. Where you will get this licensing fees? So generally when you start managing from here, you can see there are users, groups, identities, roles, administrative units, delegated admin, enterprise applications, devices, app registrations, identity, governance. Let's see everything one by one. Okay. Now just we talked about licenses, so we'll see first the license one. Okay. So when you go to licenses over here, manage, click on manage and click on all products. When you go to all products here, you can see there was an option try and buy over here. Before like 2 months before, you can buy the license from here only, from this portal only. But now you have to go to the admin center. Now you have to go to the admin center, and from admin center you can purchase. So you have to log in with your default account in the admin center. And here you can place the request to purchase the licensing. I think we don't have any request as of now. Hmm. Add products from the marketplace. Well, this is Visio plan. This is Microsoft Business. Where is that? P1 and P2.
Alasan చేస్తుంది हाँ.
Generally, you will not never get access to this. Okay. This is just for like as we are running individual accounts, so we have access to the admin center. Generally, these will be lying with the accounts team and all, mostly. Okay. About purchasing and all, purchasing the license and all. I was just showing. So earlier it was accessible from here only. Till my last batch I would have taken. So earlier it is accessible. You can buy that P1, P2 license from here only. Okay. I have that recording. I'll show you. Like actually for the first time you will get it free. For the first time you will get it free. If I go to this license features over here, what you can handle and what you cannot, and what you will be needing for handling what. For example, directory objects accessible. This is an accessible feature like object limit of 5 lakh with Microsoft Entra ID free license. No limit for other licenses. Single sign on, yes, you can avail. Single sign on means you can avail single sign on means you can have 5 products and you can use all those 5 products using one single ID only. Single sign on. Okay. User provisioning, yes, you can add the users. Federated authentication, yes. User man, what are these things? We'll see. Okay. User management, yes. Management means adding the user, updating the user, deleting the user. Group management, yes, you can perform. Device registration, yes, you can register the device. Cloud authentication, yes. All these things, whatever is written over here. Now there are some things. For example, company branding. You can customize a logo. You can create login, logout pages. You can access the panel. So this is all under company branding page. You cannot access company branding page until you have a P2 license. So available in Microsoft Entra ID for Office 365, Microsoft Entra ID P1 and P2 licensing. So if I click on this, you can see what it is written, activate your license. Okay, activate your license. Now, Microsoft Entra Suite, this is one Microsoft Entra ID governance and Microsoft Entra ID P2. I am talking about P2. Mostly this is needed with the organization. You can see there is a free trial and it is asking me to activate. I cannot activate this because I already availed it. Still, I'll click on activate. It will not activate it for me because I already used my 30 days for this account, for my this account. For you guys, I'll be sharing one video where I have activated this, okay, for the first time for my account. So I have recorded that whole video. I'll be sharing with you. Looking to that video only, you have to activate for the first time and you will follow all the process. Okay, after activating what you can perform, you can follow using that video. Since I cannot activate it again, so I cannot use it. Okay, so that's why I have that one recorded video for the P2 licensing separately. Okay, so from here you can activate from the license feature and you can read out this for the one time where you need P2, P1, where you need P2 for what applications and all. Okay, so this is about licenses. Now let's start from here. First thing is about managing the users over here. managing the users by default when you will open your account or create your account. Before that, I'll tell you one thing. Those who do not have an account, those do not have an account. Since we are starting admin, please go and create your account. Okay. Search for Microsoft free account. Microsoft free trial account. 65. We don't want 365. We want portal. Instead, go to Azure free trial. Okay. Go to Azure free trial. Click on activate here. It will ask you to sign up. It will ask you to sign up. Once you go to the sign up page, now if you have any email, any account, any Gmail account, any Microsoft account, any kind of account you have, just provide over here. Once you provide that account, click on next. Okay. If you do not have any account, create one. Okay. So when you click on that create one, then you can provide any of your IDs. May it be Gmail ID, may it be Yahoo ID, any ID which you have till date. Okay. You can use any of the IDs over here. Once you have any ID, you will click on next, and it will ask you some other information as well. Okay. Now, since I already have two accounts from I cannot create it. But if anyone wants to create it now, I can let you share your screen. I can guide you so that others can follow with this video as well. I can do that. Anyone who wants to create the account now, if anyone is creating now, let me know. I can let you share the screen. Others can show. Sorry, others can see. All are having the account.
Yes, Abhishek,
Yes, yes.
I have.
Okay.
Yes, Abhishek.
So if
No,
everyone is
like
having the account, then I know that you might not be having the free one then.
Yes, Abhishek. Free account is
Already
complete.
used.
Yeah, yeah, already used.
Okay. No issues.
I think
Those
I
who
have.
face difficulties, like either if like there are 20 people in the group, so those who face difficulties or who are not having the account till now, let me know. Okay, so then I'll not go into this. Okay, everyone is having account. So when you go to this default directory, first thing you will get is the users you will maintain. So mostly when you learn admin or you want to go into the admin side or you are managing on the admin part, then the first thing in the Active Directory you handle is the user. Okay. Now when you go to this Active Directory in your account, you will get a default user. Now this default user by your name, this is created by whom? This is created by Microsoft. Actually, this is a default directory user. Default directory user. Now, default directory user will be having all the privileges. All the privileges. Okay. It can maintain the directory. It can deactivate the directory. It can delete the directory. Everything it can do. This is the default user. And you can also see the user principal name. It is something like this. Because maybe the account using which you created your portal might be a different account. So this is my default directory user. Default directory user created by Microsoft. What was my actual user using which I created the account with the external ID? with external ID. Why external ID? Because I created my account using the external IDP. IDP means identity provider. Who is the external identity provider over here? Gmail. Okay. So similar way, there are other external identity providers also. Yahoo. Lot more. Hotmail. These are all external identity providers. Now you can see that with my default directory account, here you can see an ext. What is that ext? External only. So whenever you will be creating any account with your external, suppose,
Other than Microsoft, anything external.
other than Microsoft, anything will be external. Now suppose you will be going to a company, any company, xyz.com. Your ID will be created by the company for you. And your ID will be, suppose my ID will become that time Abhishek Trainings @xyz.com. At that particular time, you will not get any external account because that directory has been purchased by your company and they are using that XYZ directory. So at that time, the identity provided to you, company is directly onboarding to you, onboarding you to this account, Microsoft account directly. Company is not onboarding to you to the Gmail or Yahoo or anywhere, correct?
Right.
Right. They are not onboarding. That's why when you get your account in your company, you won't get any external kind of thing, EXT, in your whole username, user principal name. We call this as UPN, user principal name. This is called UPN, user principal name. Okay. So you won't get any external kind of thing. But since we created our ID with these IDPs. IDPs means identity providers. So we are recognized by Gmail or we are recognized by Yahoo or we are recognized by Hotmail. And Gmail, Yahoo or Hotmail is contacted by Microsoft that this person is registered with you. You are the identity provider for this person. That's why we are authenticating this person as that particular external identity provider. That means they have given me this, they have taken my name and they have mentioned that this person is coming from or authenticated from an external identity provider. We are not authenticating him. Okay. So they did not authenticated you. Microsoft did not authenticated you. It is relying on Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail. So that's why my account is created like this. If I would have been any part of any organization, XYZ organization or ABC organization, then I would have directly onboarded to my organization. In organization, you will be directly onboarded. Directly onboarded to that company's identity.
So in that case, it will not show that EXT, right?
It will not show EXT because then you are not external.
Mhm.
Then you are internal member of the company. I am not an internal member of the company, Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail. So they will directly onboard you. No company will ask you, please give your Gmail ID. I have to onboard you in our company. No. They will just create one ID, whatever with the available name. In my company, there are 20, like 21, 31 people with the name Abhishek Tiwari. So they used any number, like any random alphabet in between, any number after my name. abhishek.r.t.tiwari.21 something like which whatever is available they created without asking me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So like this. So this is the default user for you. Now I am the default user. Suppose I am hired by this company. I am hired. Now I will be transferred to any team. Maybe admin team, cloud team, any team. Cloud admin maybe. Now suppose I am think yourself working as a cloud administrator or IT administrator or simple this lab administrator or system administrator, anything. Consider yourself working about that. Now you will be handling all these things. What you will be handling? Majorly, you will be handling users, you will be handling groups, you will be handling external identities, you will be handling enterprise applications, you will be handling app registrations. These five things you noted down. Always you will be handling these only. In general, wherever you will be going as an admin, you will handle these things. So when you go to users, you can see there are two users here. Create a new user or invite user. Create new user means you are creating a member user of your organization. See, this is the member user. The default user is the member user of the organization. So similarly, whenever you want to onboard any member user, always you will choose create new user. So when you click on create new user, you will be giving any name. For example, I have given, I'm doing, so just for the naming convention, I've taken like AZ104 means administrator certification, hyphen 01A, AAD user means Active Directory user, Azure Active Directory user 1. That is the name I have taken. Now, if I copy this again from here, the user I am onboarding, did you see any EXT over here? Did you see any EXT?
No.
So why you cannot see any EXT over here is why you are directly onboarding the user to your company. Now, I do not have any domain name for my company. I do not have. Microsoft has given me this default domain on Microsoft.com. So whosoever I'll be onboarding will be onboarded to on Microsoft.com only. You will not see any external. Because I'm not taking this user from either Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail. I'm directly onboarding him to my company. So this will, if I would have, instead of this, would have purchased some domain, for example, XYZ or ABC. So it would have become my directory name would have become ABC, or my directory name would have become XYZ. So in that case, this user would have become something like this. So this whole thing, which is termed as my domain as of now, this would have become XYZ. Or this would have become ABC. That's how your user is created in your company. So they will send you an email once your user ID is created. That means you will be accessing all your services in Microsoft. Microsoft 365 services, Outlook, Teams, everything will be start from here only. Whenever you are onboarded to this. So once you are onboarded, you will be handling all these things. And from where they will control all these things. So suppose I'm adding this user as of now, AAD. Display name, I'll use the same display name. Okay, I'll use same. Password. So either they will use auto-generated, but in case of an auto-generated password, what you need to do is you need to keep the password with you. As a cloud administrator, you need to keep the password with you. Otherwise, for the second time, you cannot retrieve it. Okay. So either you uncheck this and provide your own password, or if you are checking this, then please note down the password, copy it. Okay. And you need to send this to your user, whosoever is the user. And whenever the user will first log in with this account, what he needs to do or she needs to do, as soon as they will log into this account, the account will ask to change their password. Since this password is with whom? Administrator, cloud administrator. By default, there will be a prompt. Please change your password as soon as you will log in. I'll show you how. Go to next properties. Again, first name doesn't matter, whatever you can give. Any name you can give. User type is member. Job title, whatever he is joining, IT lab administrator or anything he's joining in. Company name, XYZ or any company. Department name, which department is joining. Suppose IT department. Employed ID, A 1 2 3 4 5 6, whatever you want to give, you can give the employee ID. That will his employee ID. Employee type, what is the employee type you can provide? Then hire date, what is the hire date of the employee you can provide? Okay. So this is how you onboarded to the company. Office location, what will be the office? Under which manager they are adding you. So manager name, okay. Address, zip code, location, email ID, other email IDs, any number, age group, settings, usage location, where you will be using. Remember, when any user you are adding here from any location, suppose India, suppose you adding any user from India. Remember, he will not be able to access the directory item. So whenever any user, suppose this user, you want to hire him as a cloud administrator. Always, um, always remember the usage location of this cloud administrator will be US. Always. I don't know if you have most of the time if you have handled these applications, but generally, for example, any application is created, any app registration is created, or some user is asking you that please make me the owner of this application. That request can never be handled by a person sitting here in India if he is not belonging to the US account. Only the US account who will be having the US account, they will handle that permission or that request, adding the user as the owner. Why? Because always when you are using a US location, the persons at the US location, usage location, they always have a global administrator permission. What is this global administrator permission? Global administrator means they are enjoying everything in the directory. They can manage all aspects in the EntraID. They can manage all aspects, everything. So those are the global administrators. So not all people will be the global administrators. Suppose in my team there are 13 people. So only two persons who are sitting in the US, they are the global administrators. Why two persons? Not two, three persons. Because each person is working shift wise over there in the US. Okay, with us. So if any kind of situation we need to handle which requires a global administrator person or permission, so we have one person with us in our shift. So not all people. Others have other permissions, cloud administrator, IT administrator, every kind of permission they have, but they do not have global administrator. Global administrator is having only three persons. So always those three persons, their usage location is always US and they are sitting in the US. Remember, whenever you are creating any user, suppose you are also added as a cloud admin and you are adding the people over here. So remember, if you adding the person for the global administrator, you will always be giving him the US permission, okay, or usage location as the US. Otherwise, you can use any other location where the candidate belongs for any other request or any other position. You can use India, China, whatever the position is, wherever it is located, you can use. So suppose India, okay, you can use. Or if this person is a cloud administrator, you are hiring him as a cloud administrator with the global admin permission, then always the location will be US.
Sir, once we selected the locations in future, can't we change?
Location can't be changed. Location can't be changed. Other aspects you can change.
So at the time of user account creation, at that time only we have to select.
Yes. Suppose this is the one. Now go to next assignments. Always remember when you are adding the users, add them to the groups. Add them to the groups. As of now, you can't see any group, but always add them to the group. Never give any user any specific role. Okay. So these are the roles. Never give any user any specific role. What it is saying, to assign custom roles to a user, your organization needs P1 or P2 licenses, premium P1 and P2 licenses. So as of now, what roles you are seeing here, all are built-in roles. Built-in means provided by Microsoft. Generally, your organization might be using most of the customized roles. 50%, 60% of the customized roles they will be using. So actually, what are these customized roles? So there are two roles here. When we talk about roles, there are two roles. One is built in, and another one is customized. Customized does not mean that whatever I want, I am just putting into the customized role. No. Take some base permission, base, take some base permission from built-in roles, from built-in roles. And modify it. Modify it means you want some additional thing into it, then you can add it. Or you want to remove something from it, from the built-in role. You can remove it. So that will become what? That will become customized. Now for creating the customized role, you will be needing P1 or P2 license. So built-in roles and customized roles. Two types of roles are there. So what you are seeing, all are built-in roles over here. Remember, even I have onboarded this user. Suppose this user I have onboarded to my company, and this user will be working as a cloud administrator. Cloud admin. Do not go and provide the direct role of the cloud admin to the person. Cloud device administrator, cloud application administrator, cloud app security administrator. Do not provide the direct roles. Always you will be adding him to the group. So what are groups here? So generally in organizations, what happens? We create groups. Suppose this is a cloud admin team group. Cloud admin team group. So previously I have added some permissions to this group. I assigned some permissions. So by default, when I'm joining this user, so what I'll be doing, I'll be adding this user to this group. So he will be able to access or have those permissions, only the permissions which are assigned to this group. And all the cloud administrator like him will be added to this group only, and they will enjoy all the permissions which are assigned to this group. Now, why we assign to this group? Why not individually? So, for example, to this group, I have assigned some custom role. I want, suppose there are in this cloud administrator built-in role, suppose there are 10 permissions. Suppose there are 10 permissions. 10 permissions. Out of those 10 permissions, I want 8 permissions to be allowed and 2 permissions to be denied. So if I add a direct role of the cloud administrator, that person can enjoy all 10 permissions. I cannot make changes in the built-in permissions. So that's why I make customized permission, and then I attach that customized permission to the group. So the advantage by creating the group is that you can manage groups accordingly. You can manage the groups accordingly. You don't have to, but in case of built-in permissions, whatever is provided by Azure, you have to give to the person or user whom you are adding. So never assign this. I'm telling you in accordance with the organization. Whenever you will be working in the organization, they will ask you not to add direct role to the user. Never. Okay. So I'm telling you about the real time scenario, how it is, how you will be working. So always add to the group. Okay. Next, this is your user and you will be creating your user. Now, once the user is created, what we'll do? We'll go to the incognito mode. And I'll show you how the user will So I'll go to the portal. I'll use this user. AZ104018. AZ 01 A hyphen AAD user 1 @ trainings 30 gmail.on microsoft.com. What it is asking must me first to update your password. So current password which was given to me by the cloud administrator, that password I need to put in, and then I can change my own password. And then I can change my own password. Like this. Passwords contain. Okay. What action required? Now, this is a setup. When you go to the organization, you might have seen this setup. Please set your Microsoft Authenticator app. Please this, that, everything. Okay. You have 14 days until this is required. So I'll do ask me later. Stay signed in. Yes. Now this became mandatory actually. Okay, setting up the Microsoft Authenticator. So definitely it will ask you. You have the Microsoft Authenticator app. You can go, you can scan the QR code and you can set up. Okay. This is what you do generally when you join the organization mostly. You can scan the QR like this. You can finish the setup. Authenticator is set up and you can go inside.
So here we are setting MFA, right? Multi-factor.
Right, MFA.
Yes.
Default sign-in method is Microsoft Authenticator. So actually, MFA is enforced by Microsoft itself now. So that's why you are getting all these things. Now, what it says, welcome to the Microsoft Azure. Now you are not in the portal. You are not in the portal. As a user, skip, skip. You can see what it says. Either start a free trial, manage identity, access student benefit. But as of now, it will not let you create any service. Whenever some user joins my company, I have not given him any role. What I did, I just created the user. So that's why this user is not able to access anything in the portal. He cannot access anything. Only thing he can do is that he can view the default directory. That's it. Only he can view the default directory. Nothing he can do apart from that. So this is the default user. You cannot create any service in Azure. You cannot create any app registration. You cannot add any user. Nothing you can do over here because no role has been given to this user or he is not been added to any of the groups. Now I'll go back. I'll refresh this. Now let's see what permissions that user have. So I'll go to that particular user here. And from where I can manage this user. So when I go to this user, account is enabled. Edit. Okay, you can edit the account. Let's edit the properties of the user. Okay, let's go to the user properties here. Job information. Whatever you have given information, you can see over here in the edit. Okay, all the things. Everything you can see over here. Group membership 0, application 0, assigned role 0, assigned licenses 0. Only account is enabled. So when the account is enabled, you can see the authentication method, the Microsoft Authenticator. You can add multiple authentication methods for that user if you want from here. You can reset the password for the user. Suppose he is not able to reset the password, you can reset the password. On this subscription, now you will come to know why that user was not able to access any resources. Because on this subscription, no role has been given. Since on the subscription, no role has been given, he cannot see the subscription, he cannot see the resource groups, he cannot see the resources, cannot be anything over there. Only the thing he can do is he can access the Active Directory, that's it. So on subscription, no role has been assigned to the user. Devices, since the user as of now did not used any new device where he can register the device. So no device is enabled as of now. No devices is showing for the user. Licenses, no license for the user. No applications in the user's name. No groups he's been added to. No administrative unit is assigned to the user. No assigned roles. So just the simple user we created. Whereas when we go to that user, our default user here, go to assigned roles. Hmm. See what role he has been given. Global administrator. So by default, it is being given when you created the account. Since you are the owner of this account, you have been given global administrator. So once I give him global administrator, that new user, if I give global administrator, he will be able to access each and everything in the portal. So as of now, he is not able to access anything. He cannot able to see anything. Why? Because he has not been assigned any roles, nor he has been added to any groups which are having the roles. Also, one more thing. When you go to the EntraID and when you go to the properties, the user who will be accessing his default directory when he will be going to the properties in C, there is an option here. Am I audible to everyone?
Now you are.
Yes,
You're
now you are.
lost in the middle.
Ah. So if you see access management of Azure resources, so you can see this is toggled on. But if I log in with that AAD user which I created, by default this is toggled off. Means if this is toggled off, you cannot handle Azure resources. You cannot handle the management of Azure resources. So since this user is my directory user, by default this is toggled on. I logged out from that another user. I would have shown you that would be toggled off. So there is a lot more difference in between two users. When you create a user, all these properties should be enabled when they are working as a cloud administrator. Now in the next class, we'll be creating 2 to 3 users and we'll be creating the groups. We'll be providing permissions to the groups and then we'll be adding the users to the groups. Okay. And how those users can access, what access they have been given, and how they can access those resources, we'll check in the next class. Okay. There just was an overview of Entra ID.
Sure.
And apart from that, we have to see all these things as well. External identities, what are external identities, what are enterprise applications, app registrations, all those things. We'll complete in the next class about Active Directory. Okay.
Sure, Abhishek.
Yeah, I'll be sharing every recording. Every recording will be uploaded.
Sure, Abhishek.